Rockstar Games just dropped GTA 6 Trailer 2, and I'm here to cover everything you may have missed. The trailer opens up with a shot of the Vice City keys. This is located on the bottom of the GTA 6 map, and I will put it on the screen right now. There seems to be a big mansion in the front and two smaller houses located next to it. In the back you can see various different houses, and there even appears to be a marina, which I will zoom into right now. There is a gas station on the right as well, and you can see a massive blip in the background. You can see people relaxing by the pool and by the docks, and people driving their boats close to the houses. This entire part of the map is covered by beautiful, vibrant beaches. The keys seem to be a much larger area than we originally anticipated. This place looks alive with wildlife and people, and it looks like a great place that we will explore in the game. The second shot of the trailer shows Jason's house. It is revealed on rockstargames.com/vi that Brian is letting Jason live rent-free at one of his properties so long as he helps with local shakedowns and stops by for Lori's sangria once in a while. A sangria is a type of cocktail, by the way. This hints that Brian and Jason seem to be close friends. You can see Jason's vapid pickup truck, which was shown in the first artwork of GTA 6 as well. To the left you can also see another car. This may be a car that's broken down, it may be Lucia's car, or it may be Jason's second car. We do not know. You can also see an iguana walking on the sand. If you didn't know, Miami is infested with iguanas, so I'm guessing we'll see these all around the map. To the far right, you can see what seems to be a backdrop of a city. This could be Vice City, or it could be a part of the Keys. What became very apparent to me in this shot of the trailer is how realistic the game looks at this point, and it's still a year away from release, so a lot can improve. The graphics, the textures, the lighting, the shadows, everything looks incredible. I've never seen a video game look this realistic before. You can even see marks on the windows of Jason's house, small pools of water all around. This just looks straight out of real life. Behind Jason's car you can see a basketball hoop, perhaps hinting that basketball will actually be an activity that you can do in the game. When you look closely at Jason's car, you can see a lot of rust, indicating that this may be a much older car. Remember, this is the car that we saw in trailer 1 as well, even when Jason and Lucia were running from the cops. Jason is also shirtless on the roof in some cargo pants. In the next clip we see Brian climbing out of his vapid pickup truck. Jason also has a vapid pickup truck, just a different model. So this man is Brian Heder. He is a classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys, still moving product through his boatyard with his third wife Lori. Brian's been around long enough to let others do his dirty work. This refers to Jason doing his dirty work for him. Brian might be the first person we work for as Jason in the GTA 6 story. Something cool I noticed is when Brian gets out of his pickup truck, sand seems to kick up into the air, showing very realistic sand physics, the same we saw in trailer 1. But this time around it looks even better. Brian then asks Jason what he's doing up there. It then cuts to the next shot where Jason is climbing down from the ladder, saying just fixing some leaks. In the back you can see another boat and a cargo ship. We also saw a shot similar to this in GTA 6 trailer 1 in the Keys, which I'll show you right now. As we get a close-up of Jason's house, you can see that the paint and wood looks very realistic. The clouds in the back also seem incredible, showing a great new volumetric system in GTA 6. In the next shot, it cuts to Brian saying, "Seriously dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants." This refers back to that other paragraph on the GTA 6 website. Brian's letting Jason live rent-free at one of his properties so long as he helps with local shakedowns and stops by for Lori's sangre once in a while. So Brian is basically letting Jason know, hey, you got some money that you need to collect for me. In the background of this shot you can see some vegetation and trash cans, nothing crazy. This shot alone shows the incredible detail that goes into this game. It looks even better than trailer 1. In the next shot, it shows Jason again, who is obviously ripped as hell. And he says to Brian, "Oh, that's why you came by." This shows that Jason was surprised that this was the only reason Brian came to visit him, hinting that these two are actually close friends. This shot shows an incredible amount of detail in the characters. You can see the sun reflecting off of Jason's skin, meaning he either applied sunscreen or is sweating. You can see the reflection in his sunglasses as well, and when you look closely at the windows, you can see reflections of palm trees. Also, the character movements in this trailer are extremely realistic. The motion capture done for GTA 6 is incredible. There is a tattoo on Jason's right rib cage, showing a bird being shot by an arrow. It is unclear if this tattoo is done by the player or if Jason has this tattoo from the beginning. In the next shot, Brian proceeds to yell, "Just go get me my checks." This is referring to the shakedowns Jason has to do in order to live at Brian's property for free. In the background, you can see incredibly detailed houses and a car turning left at the street. Each house looks and feels real. An incredible improvement from GTA 5, where every house felt kind of empty. It looks like it rained the night before, since there seems to be small puddles of water everywhere. Looking at Jason's porch, you can see bird poop everywhere. If this is actually something that happens in GTA 6 where birds poop and it leaves a mark, that is honestly next level detail. It then cuts to the next shot, which shows Jason entering the house. He then says, "See you, Brian," and "Love you, Jason." The "love you, Jason" is obviously what he wanted Brian to say, just making a joke. This further hints that Brian and Jason are more than business partners, they are friends as well. Looking at the background on the porch, you can see a small pile of leaves. I wonder if these piles on the map get bigger as time goes on, or do they stay the same? As Jason approaches the door, you can see a mailbox on the left and a doorbell on the right that seems to be disconnected. Jason also appears to have a watch on his left wrist. His hair seems to be longer in this clip and is shorter later in the trailer, which I will explain later. As he opens the door, you can see through the other side of the house. A towel seems to be spread out on the railing, and you can see parts of a bridge through the small window. Also, as he is entering, you can see the reflection of the background on the door, although it's hard to make anything out from there. As he enters on the right, you can see a hanger that is obviously meant for keys. Will we be able to interact with these keys? Maybe. It's hard to make anything out further into the house, but there seems to be a kitchen on the right and a bunch of furniture in the background. You can also see how good the lighting is on the floor. In the next shot, Jason put on a tank top and is driving down the street, obviously on his way to go collect that money for Brian. There seems to be a type of gang tattoo on his left bicep. This may be gang affiliated, maybe not. If you guys know, please leave it in the comments down below. The first man we see is wearing a green tank top and using a leaf blower to blow leaves away from his driveway. The car Jason is driving is obviously the same one from trailer 1. The steering wheel seems to have very realistic textures. These small details really add up in GTA 6. All the mirrors in the car seem to be fully functional. Even looking at the windscreen, you can see reflections bouncing off of it. As Jason drives by the second house, a woman calls out to him, screaming, "Hey Jason." The way she says it obviously shows that she has some type of romantic interest in him. I mean, no wonder. She also seems to have a pink, luscious car. I don't know if this lady will be part of the story. Looking at her windows, it seems her house has a fully visible interior. I have a theory that almost all structures in GTA 6 will have an interior that you can see through windows from the outside, but most of them won't be enterable. This will bring a far more realistic feel in the world of GTA 6. After the woman calls out to Jason, Jason starts smiling. Maybe he's feeling flattered, or maybe he likes her. Hopefully he's just feeling flattered. I just want you to take a close look at the houses in this trailer. Everything looks so real and it almost feels like you can enter all of it, but I doubt we will be able to. The next shot cuts to Jason slapping a man through the face. This is most likely one of the shakedowns he has to do for Brian. He appears to be in some kind of shopping center, as in the background you can see people drinking coffee or tea or whatever. But the world feels so real, and from far away those characters in the background look like real people. In the next shot you can see Jason looting the cash register, and the man he just slapped is laying next to him. We also see a man in the background that appears to be sleeping. Even the cash register looks incredibly detailed. You can also see the money in the cash register looks incredibly realistic. Now this next shot shows Jason driving into Vice City on a highway. You can see a plane flying in the sky, construction workers leaning on a pickup truck, another pickup truck that has a jet ski attached to it. The truck in front of Jason has two people chilling in the back. This shot is obviously from the view of Jason in the car. This shot shows that roads in GTA 6 will be a lot more dense and busy than what we were used to in GTA 5. The palm trees in this shot look extremely beautiful as well, and you can see a bunch of trash everywhere on the highway. The difference between this trash and the trash we saw in GTA 5 is that these seem to be 3D textures, so maybe these pieces of trash can move around if you drive over them, or maybe they can move on their own if there is a lot of wind. There is also a plane flying directly over Jason's head. On the side it says US, obviously indicating that this is a United States airplane. Now let's read the highway signs in front of Jason. If you take the exit on the left, you will go to the airport and Ambrosia. And if you go straight, you will go to Northport VC and downtown. If you take the exit on the right, you'll go to Peacock Bay. Obviously, this plane is on its way down, which means it's landing at the airport. And the plane that's on its way to the right is obviously coming from the airport. So this obviously matches up well with the signs. We can see lots of tall Vice City buildings in the background. Some of these windows have curtains that are closed and some that are open, and it seems that you can look inside of these interiors, although most of these interiors do look relatively the same. The next shot cuts to Jason working out on the beach. We know this is him by the tattoo on his left arm, and he is also wearing the same sunglasses. He seems to be benching 120 reps casually, which shows he has some incredible strength. To the left you can see two girls that are obviously admiring him, and in the back you can see people surrounding a boxing bag and three bodybuilders doing pull-ups. To the right you can see people sitting on the bench, and this shot is obviously from Vice Beach, which was also in trailer 1, but we got this shot at nighttime. I'll put that on the screen as well right now. Maybe we can possibly interact with the boxing bag, or maybe we can box other people in the game. That would be a very fun activity to do. Even though there aren't a lot of people in this shot, the world feels incredibly alive and realistic. You can see hundreds of footprints in the sand, as well as the weights on the right obviously leave a dent in the sand as well. I've never seen a video game have such incredible sand physics, and if you know Rockstar, this isn't some cinematic trailer, this is in-game footage that was captured. The buildings in the background look incredible. The lighting in this game really does a big number. The next shot cuts to Jason walking out of a grocery store or convenience store with a 6-pack of Patriot beer. On the left you can see someone that wants to buy one of the lottery tickets, and on the right you can see a very realistic looking cat. On the lottery machine you can see a text reading "A new millionaire every week." I'd probably consider that false advertising. On the racks to the left you can see soda that is called Zesta, maybe a parody of Fanta, and on the right you can see various different fruits and vegetables. Something to note is that in GTA 5, when you walked into a gas station or convenience store, all the items on the rack looked like copy and pasted textures, but in GTA 6, every item looks distinctly different. The tiles on the floor have cracks and dirty marks all over, and I must say it looks incredibly realistic. Before Jason exits the shop, another woman walks in before him, and at this point you can really see that every character has different clothing, different styles. Every character looks unique. And for the first time in a GTA game, there will actually be attractive women. If you look at the door, you can see various returning brands in GTA 6, such as the Fleeca Bank and Redwood cigarettes. Jason is also wearing a Leonida Marine Center t-shirt. Because if you didn't know, Jason was actually in the army. Jason grew up around grifters and crooks. After a stint in the army trying to shake off his troubled teens, he found himself in the Keys doing what he knows best, working for local drug runners. It might be time to try something new. So obviously Jason did something bad that got him kicked out of the Marines. As he exits the store, you can once again see the beautiful lighting of this game. On the right you can see a homeless man asking Jason for some change and a man in the background resting on the back of his pickup truck. The next shot shows Jason driving right before sunset. You can see a bunch of graffiti on the wall, one which says Haiti, which is going to be one of the gangs in GTA 6. You can see an encounter between police officers and other people, as well as people sleeping against the wall, appearing to be homeless. This shot just shows the amount of interactions that will be in GTA 6. In the leaks there were hundreds of world events that take place, and who knows how many more they've added since the leaks back in 2019. One police officer actually pushes one of the men, then it also seems one man is being questioned by police, and others are being searched. It seems some sort of altercation happened here. The police lights look extremely realistic, and you can see the light bouncing off of the walls. You can also see an undercover cop car, suggesting that these undercover cops may be cruising all throughout Vice City. You can also see people in a metro train looking through the window. It was also confirmed in the leaks that using the metro is a confirmed type of transportation. Through some power lines in the back, you can see a bunch of Vice City buildings and the lighting reflecting off of it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. The next shot shows the outside of a prison and a guard tower on the right, and a guard with what seems to be a sniper rifle. Another plane is also flying in the background. What occurred to me is that in GTA 5, the prison always used to be empty. You would never see any inmates, or barely even any guards. Maybe a few. I wonder in GTA 6 if the prison will actually be an interactable place. For example, if you fly over it, will you actually see the inmates inside and the guards doing their rounds? That is something very interesting to think about. But aside from that, there really isn't anything else going on in this shot. The next shot shows Jason in the prison. This time his hair is cut completely short, which indicates that there is a time jump. Now let me explain what's going on here. It seems to me that for the first part of the game, Lucia will be in prison and Jason will be working with Brian. Jason is talking with the security guard through the intercom, and he says, "I'm here for Lucia Caminos." This confirms Lucia's last name. The security guard then asks Jason, "What's your name?" and he says Jason Duval. So in this one shot, we got the full names of both of our protagonists for GTA 6. Just take a look at the background in this prison facility. It looks extremely realistic. Everything down to the printers, the water cooler, everything looks incredible. Even the way Jason and the security guard interact with each other feels extremely realistic. The character movements are detailed and resemble real life. The security guard then asks Jason, "Have I seen you here before?" Possibly hinting that he was in this facility as an inmate. Or maybe he was even working at this prison, as it has been hinted a lot of times that Jason is actually an undercover police officer. Yet this has never been confirmed, only rumored. Jason then replies to the security guard, "You might have." This is very vague and there's nothing we can really gather from this further. Or maybe the security guard has seen Jason when he was visiting Lucia. We cut to the next shot where Jason and Lucia finally reunite after her time in prison. She's wearing an oversized black t-shirt. They look very happy to see each other. Although the interaction is kind of awkward, it is unclear how long Lucia was in prison for. But based on this interaction, it wasn't that long. Well, at least not long enough for them to go running into each other's arms. There is also an incredible amount of detail in Lucia's hair when she's just even slightly moving her head. Also, taking a closer look at Jason's t-shirt, you can see all the marks and stains that was left on it. This shows that the clothing system in GTA 6 is extremely realistic, as well as the hair physics. Jason says hey and Lucia says hey back awkwardly. It then cuts to Rockstar Games Presents. This whole sequence was basically an introduction to Jason's story, since trailer 1 was so heavily focused on Lucia. The next shot shows Jason and Lucia in bed. Obviously there isn't much for me to say here, except notice that Lucia is wearing an ankle monitor. We also saw this in the first artwork of GTA 6, and obviously this plays a role, otherwise they wouldn't show it so frequently. Just the way Jason and Lucia interact with each other is extremely realistic. Once again, the motion capture of this game is next level. The next shot shows Lucia screaming, "Hands above your head." Obviously, they seem to be robbing a bank here. I'll explain why I think this is a bank later. She is wearing a mask to cover up her face as well as some sunglasses. And once again, you can see the incredible lighting as the bank alarm going off in the background is reflecting off of Lucia, and you can see more reflections in her sunglasses. Now this next shot confirms that this is a bank. On the screen it reads National Bank, security lockdown in effect. Lucia is holding 2 people hostage as well. These seem to be people working at the bank as they're sitting at desks. Jason then says in a deep raspy voice, "You stay." And in the background you can see what appears to be the reception/entrance area. The next shot once again shows Jason and Lucia in bed. Again, nothing for me to comment on there. The next shot shows Jason and Lucia having a beer at what appears to be a local bar. In the background you can see various people talking to each other, and in this world of GTA 6 it really does feel like you're not in the center of it. I guarantee you when the game comes out and you're walking around, you'll feel like the world isn't revolving around you. And that is a very good thing in a video game. Jason says to new beginnings and then they clink their beers. Also in the background of this bar you can see various banners hanging from the roof. This does feel and look like a local bar. It's crazy how everything in this game is so detailed. Honestly, now I understand why this game took so long. The next shot shows Jason and Lucia chilling at the end of a dock, just chatting away. It seems Lucia says something along the lines of, "Then you broke my nose." And what really caught my eye in these 2 shots was the incredible water physics. Just the way the water interacts with the pillars and the way the waves form is incredibly realistic. We already saw these great water physics in trailer 1, but I just wanted to mention it again. In the distance of the next shot you can see people hanging out on a yacht, and to the right people riding jet skis. This world just feels so alive. Even when they're just sitting at the end of a dock laughing, chatting away, there's still interesting stuff going on around them. You can even see ducks in the water. Not to mention that incredibly cinematic sunset there on the right. The next 2 shots are at Brian's Boatworks and Marina. If you guys don't remember, Brian is that guy from the beginning that Jason is working for so that he can stay at that house for free. I do actually think that they may be loading drugs onto this plane. As it was mentioned earlier, Brian's Boatworks and Marina is used to smuggle drugs. And since they're loading this many suitcases, I assume it would be loaded full of drugs as well. Nothing else really interesting going on in this scene. In the background you can see a bunch of welding gear, generators and so on, everything that you would find in this type of area. And we actually get to see a little bit of rain finally in this trailer. I also wanted to mention in this shot that Jason has a little bit of a beard and longer hair as well. Obviously this will be a feature in GTA 6 no doubt, where over time your hair and beard will grow. We saw this in Red Dead Redemption 2, so we will definitely see it in GTA 6 no doubt. The next shot appears to be people doing community service, picking up trash on the road. In the back you can see piles of trash. It looks extremely realistic as well. I know it's just trash, but it looks like nice trash. Like I mentioned earlier, you could see that every piece of trash is 3D. So driving over it may shoot it up into the air or shoot it to the side. I think that's definitely a possibility. Also take note that the people in this shot are also wearing ankle bracelets. Seeing as Lucia also wears an ankle bracelet, it's a huge possibility she will also have to pick up trash as part of her community service. You can also see this police officer has a clipboard to mark the community service hours done by these people. In the next shot, Lucia and Jason appear to be in a new apartment. And Lucia says, "Trust me, this place is just the start for us." Now this might look like a new house, but it is the same house that we saw in the start of the trailer. I can confirm this by the key hanger at the door. In the next shot, a man is screaming, "Ring the bell, shots baby." It seems that they are celebrating something. What they are celebrating, I'm not so sure of. Just take a look at the coolers below the bar. Every single can looks like it can be taken out on its own. That guy on the far left also appears later in the trailer, suggesting that he is a recurring character. Also, this guy with the colorful t-shirt and backwards cap also appears later in the trailer, suggesting that both of those guys are recurring characters. In the next shot, Lucia drags Jason by the arm, probably to go take him out dancing. Then Lucia says the only thing that matters is who you know and what you got. And that takes us into the next shot. Lucia and Jason seem to be on a top deck of a boat. They could be scoping out a heist, or they could just be having fun. There's nothing we can determine from this. Although in the background you can see the Vice City backdrop, confirming that this is near Vice City. They seem to be attending some sort of party on this boat. You can see a bartender at the back and various people socializing on the boat as well. It's crazy to me how many NPCs there are, and each one looks distinctly different. I know in GTA 5 every once in a while you would see 2 NPCs that had the same model, and I just hope that isn't going to happen in GTA 6. But I do feel confident that there won't be NPCs that share the same model. In the next shot, Jason and Lucia are in a car, and Jason says, "If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right." And in the background you can see a biker gang, so maybe they were just having a quick pep talk before they approach this gang. They are possibly doing business with them. Maybe they are smuggling drugs for them or doing a job with them. The next shot shows Jason and Lucia holding hands in front of a bridge. There isn't really anything going on here, except for the fact that Jason's shirt reminds me a lot of Tommy Vercetti. The next shot shows Jason and Lucia walking into a club. This is the 919 club that appeared in trailer 1. Something to note is that there seems to be groups of people forming in GTA 6. Instead of people walking alone on streets, you may see people in pairs walking around or people in big groups. That is a very nice change up. The next shot shows Jason and Lucia dancing in the club they were about to enter, having the absolute time of their lives. This trailer is very much focused on Jason and Lucia's relationship, so I'm guessing it will play a very big part in the story. I'm guessing it will have its ups and downs as well. In the next shot, Jason seems to be surrounded by a gang, and one of them says, "Yo D, is this fool a Fed?" So perhaps Jason was trying to buy drugs from them and they think that he's a cop. The guy next to Jason seems to be his friend. From the body language that he's giving off, he's trying to defend Jason. Perhaps this guy brought Jason to them to do potential business, but they don't trust Jason at all. I mean, these are obviously gang members, seeing as this guy's body is fully covered with tattoos. The next clip shows Jason helping Lucia climb out of the window as they're getting chased by cops. She lands on the ground and makes a run for it. And while this shot is playing, Brian is saying something in the background. Brian says to Jason, "They got your name, your address, they got everything." This may suggest that the police are after Jason, or a gang may be after him and tracking him down. The next 2 clips shows cops busting into a place, maybe the same place where Lucia jumped out of that window. I think this shows that the police will play a big part in the GTA 6 story. because they seem to be putting a lot of attention to this police officer right here. Maybe he's a dirty cop, or maybe he's the one trying to hunt down Jason or Lucia, but it does seem he has some role in the GTA 6 story. He also says something very interesting. He says, us cops, we gotta protect each other. I don't know what else this can say, except that the cops do play a big part in the story. The next shot shows Jason shooting a pistol out of a car. This seems to be on the Vice Beach area as well, from this boardwalk sign that appears in trailer 1. He may be doing a hit on someone, or someone may be chasing them and they're just trying to escape. Jason is in the passenger seat here, so maybe Lucia is driving and they're trying to make a getaway. Just take notice of the veins on Jason's arm. I know that may sound kind of weird, but I think that's also a very nice detail. In the next shot we see a woman. This is Bay Lux. She is a rap star and social media star in GTA 6. You can find more information about her on the GTA 6 website. In the background of this shot, we can once again see the metro station. I think this will play a big part in transportation in GTA 6. If you need to travel long distances, you can do it via the metro station. And we see another short clip of Jason and Lucia dancing in the club. Nothing for me to comment on here, except that the dancing physics do look good. This next shot has a lot going on. We see Jason throwing a man against a car on fire in the background as well, and this seems to all happen in front of the Starlit Motel. I'm guessing this has to be in either Port Gellhorn or the Keys, since I doubt there would be this kind of motel anywhere near Vice City. You can see a billboard in the background for what seems to be for tacos, but you can't really make out what it's saying. In the next shot we see something very interesting. Lucia in an MMA cage surrounded by people, so obviously she's fighting for people's entertainment. This may hint that there is a sophisticated combat system in GTA 6 that could involve martial arts. If that's true, that would be incredible. In the next shot, Jason says, "You and me, Lou, we got this." And Lucia replies, "We got it." And it seems that Lucia and Jason are in a new house this time. Or maybe they were just renovating the house from the paint marks on the walls. Jason is also loading his gun, showing that they might be preparing to go out for a job and are giving each other a pep talk. Also, the earbuds that Lucia is wearing in this shot is the same one she wore in trailer 1. I just thought that was a fun fact I'd throw in there. The next shot is probably one of the craziest ones of the trailer. It shows Lucia with a grenade launcher blowing up police vehicles. They probably did another heist and are trying to escape. This looks like a crazy fun mission in the game and I can't wait to play it. Also, looking at the highways here, they look very sophisticated, but they also look pretty busy, which is great to see. And also the explosion physics look incredible. I mean, really, this has to be some of the best I've ever seen. Something interesting to note is when the cars blow up, Lucia's hair actually shoots up. I think that's a pretty nice detail. That may also just be a result of the car going fast, I'm not sure. In the next shot, Jason and Draquan Priest are reacting to something that happened on his phone. Maybe a social media clip, I'm not sure. To the left you can see people stretching, and to the right you can see people taking photos and a dog as well. It's incredible to me how so many different NPCs can do so many things in so many different places. In the next clip, it appears Lucia is getting jumped by a very jacked female on an airplane. And what's crazy is the airplane is still open. The landing gear hasn't even fully retracted. This may indicate that there will be an airplane heist in GTA 6. I think that would be very cool. There are so many questions left unanswered in this shot. Why is Lucia getting jumped? Why is she wearing that uniform? Is she disguised as a worker? What is she doing on the plane? This is definitely going to be a mission in the story and I can't wait to find out what the hell is going on here. This next shot is also very intriguing. A pickup truck is dragging a safe out of what appears to be a house. This seems like another heist mission and this is incredibly cool. This was something out of Fast and Furious and it's pretty cool to see this in GTA 6. Once again we have another scene with Jason and Lucia in bed. Obviously not really anything for me to say here. In the next scene, we see this guy taking a selfie with Jason and Lucia. This is the guy from earlier in the bar, if you remember me referring to him. The next shot is very loaded and it's one of Vice Beach again. There are a couple of cars here that obviously are from real life. The car on the far right is obviously a Mercedes. The green car is obviously a Lamborghini. Then you have two Porsches right here and what seems to be a Mustang at the back. But just take a moment to admire the lighting of the scene and the density of the people and the cars. Everything is so full and alive, and this is what each day will look like in GTA 6, and I can't wait. You can see people posing out of cars, taking photos, exercising with headphones on. You can see people crowded in front of the hotel. There is so much going on, and I can't wait to play this for myself. The next shot seems to be at a nightclub or hotel. There seems to be a party going on here. Obviously, people dancing on top of rooftops. I mean, the nightlife in GTA 6 does look very exciting and does look like something you may actually want to spend your time on. What I'm really interested in seeing is the GTA 6 RP servers. That is going to be crazy for sure. The next shot is a stripper on a stripper pole. I'm not going to show this shot for too long because I'm scared my video might get taken down or something. But if you want to go watch this again for yourself, be my guest. Now this next shot has a lot going on. It may not seem like it, but it does. First of all, I feel like that is a PlayStation 5 controller there and a PlayStation 5 next to the TV there as well. On the TV, we can see Phil's ammunition. This guy looks like an interesting character that we will probably encounter in GTA 6, and it looks like he runs a few ammunitions in Vice City, or Port Gellhorn, or in the Keys maybe as well. We got a couple beers on the coffee table, and we see that same towel from earlier, so it's probably been there for a while, so we know this isn't Jason's apartment. If you look to the left, you can actually see very complex reflections. You can see reflections from the TV and the trees outside. I've said this so many times, but the reflection quality in GTA 6 is incredible. The next scene cuts to Lucia throwing her keys in a bowl and falling on top of Jason. I think she just got home from doing some community service, possibly picking up trash or something else. Because in this shot, she's still wearing that ankle bracelet. So she's definitely still under probation. I also want to talk about what limits Lucia's ankle monitor may put on the story. Maybe we will have to regularly do community service tasks, or we will get arrested, or maybe we can't leave a certain area outside of the map, otherwise the tracker will go off, or something like that. The next shot follows Jason in a helicopter chasing a fan boat in the Everglades. Once again, we see some incredible water physics, and this also seems like another mission in the game. Maybe they're chasing this guy, maybe they're teaming up with him, or maybe they're trying to kill him. There's nothing else to say here, we don't really know what's happening, but once again looks like another awesome mission coming to GTA 6. The next shot is probably one of my favorite ones in the trailer. It's Jason and Lucia on a jet ski riding along the Vice City coast. You can see a lot of stuff happening in the background. Helicopters flying, people on yachts, people on jet skis, people on speedboats. This world is so packed with activity, and there are so many possibilities and so many things we can do in this world. So many things to interact with. It's going to be incredible. And I just want to talk about the Vice City backdrop again. I mean, look at how beautiful that is. The palm trees, the tall buildings, the water, everything is just so vibrant and beautiful. The art style of GTA 6 is definitely not something to overlook, and it's one of the reasons this game is so beautiful. Now, this next shot shows Jason on a motorcycle and a small airplane right behind him. Maybe the airplane is chasing him, maybe it's Lucia in the airplane. Once again, we won't know, so much left up for interpretation. In this next shot, it seems Lucia is jumping off of a motorcycle onto the back of a moving truck. And in the back of this moving truck is a luxury vehicle, looks like a Lamborghini. A detail I want to point out right here is when you look at that tall building to the left, you can see a bunch of interiors. Obviously, I doubt these interiors will be enterable, but even when you look to the right, you can see there are obvious 3D interiors. My guess is that Rockstar wanted the world to feel more alive and added these 3D interiors, but most of the time they will be empty, and that's fine with me. In the next shot, Lucia is jumping into Jason's arm. By the way, they're in the motel that appeared in the leaks, and it also appeared in trailer 1. They are obviously celebrating something. Of course, we don't know what. We'll find out one day. So in this next shot, I zoomed into these two people on the speedboat. It appears to be Jason and Lucia, but it's too hard to tell. And on the right, you can see a Vice-Dale police helicopter. Obviously, Jason and Lucia are escaping from the police once again. Maybe they did a job, a heist. And on the left, you can see something underwater. It looks like kelp to me. On the GTA 6 website, there's actually a screenshot of the underwater life, and it actually looks incredibly stunning, and we haven't seen underwater life like this in a GTA game before. So I'm very excited to see that in action as well. Maybe we'll do some missions underwater. That would be pretty cool, don't you think? This next shot shows people on bikes escaping the police. On the left, you can see Gellhorn Roadhouse, which obviously means this is in Port Gellhorn. You can see a guy shooting a gun out of the window. Maybe this is some sort of cartel, I'm not sure. On the billboard, you can see Mariana County and Vice-Dale County. And further, you can see Draper Island. I'm not sure what this is yet. On the right, you can also see a welcome to Port Gellhorn sign, which proves my point. Further up, you can actually see what appears to be a shopping center. I wonder if that will be enterable. In the next shot, Jason is jumping on the back of a car that Lucia is driving. And in the back you can see it's those guys on the bike and that guy that was shooting out of the window. So they're actually chasing Jason and Lucia. I guess we'll have to wait and see. In the next shot, we see a man wearing a Brian's Boat Works in Marina shirt yelling, "Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up?" This guy is an associate of Brian's and one of Jason's friends. His name is Cal Hampton. And it also appears that this guy is a conspiracy theorist if you look closely on the GTA 6 website. Go look for yourselves, let me know what you think. And here we are in the final shot of GTA 6 trailer 2. It's Lucia hanging out of a window. Jason is driving the car and the camera lifts up to show Vice City at sunset with Jason and Lucia driving off in the distance. What a beautiful ending to a beautiful trailer. Honestly, definitely better than trailer 1. I'm not saying trailer 1 was bad, but this showed so much more of the characters, the story. It was very exciting. And this also might be one of my favorite shots of the trailer. I mean, just look at how beautiful it is. And there we have it, GTA 6 coming May 26, 2026. This was captured on the PS5, not the PS5 Pro. That is very interesting to note. This was not even captured on the best performing PlayStation out there. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. It took me a long time to make this video and get all the research done. If you guys want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.